Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today we are here back with some PoE content because there will be I do believe there's going to be a wipe on Tuesday. I think I may have read this incorrectly, but anyway, this is going to be a state of the beta post number 3. What these posts essentially are is the devs of GGG are kind of, I think, weekly or so, or not weekly, but essentially they're uploading, you know, their thoughts on how the beta has been progressing and giving us feedback, because that's what we like to see. So let's go ahead and read this. Of course, this link will be in the description down below. I think this was posted about a day ago. This one's by Carl. So he starts off by saying, "Hi, I'm Carl, and I've been managing the closed beta for The Awakening. As part of the beta process, I will be providing it is weekly, a weekly state of the beta news post. This is the third such post. And as stated, you can see the previous ones that are located right here at your disposal. We are on track for a patch tomorrow during the NZ workday. It contains a number of changes, including various improvements to areas, balance features. I won't provide an exhaustive list, but I will discuss some highlights. This article should not be interpreted as patch notes. It is intended to be an explanation of some of the changes. There are many other miscellaneous changes." So, one big thing that's coming out is LockStep is coming out. However, it is a beta version of LockStep. So this states, "This patch includes an early version of the deterministic LockStep that is designed to solve desync issues for low latency players. It also includes dozens of bug fixes to fix regular predictive sync. For more information on what deterministic LockStep is and how it differs from the predictive sync system, please read this article here. Our implement whatever allows players using both modes to play with each other. Your choice of mode won't affect other players. Currently, you can only change modes while you're on the main menu. You can't do it while you're logged into the game world. Please note that the LockStep is intended for users with low latency. Any bugs in the implementation may result in sync issues even in the deterministic LockStep mode. These are being fixed aggressively. If you get real internet lag, the simulation will just freeze and there's nothing to draw. When lag clears, it'll try to catch up as quickly as possible. This can look strange. We're working on improving how this works." So that's one big thing. So Tuesday, which I believe is tomorrow, which you guys will see some PoE content here, we've got LockStep coming in. Furthermore, gem vendors. When we change gem rewards to provide a more directed experience, so just to give an overview, vendors will now sell gems, which is really, really big. So let's go into this. When we changed gem rewards to provide a more directed experience, we knew we needed a secondary way to make skill gems available. Racers, experienced players, and more experimental new players will now have access to skill gems at vendors. Nessa, Yina, Clarissa, and Pitaris, and Vanja, I don't know who the hell those ones are, have a second tab in their shops. This tab offers various gems at very cheap rates. For example, low-level gems cost a wisdom scroll. These gems come with an experience, which is 8% of your current experience, up to a maximum of 8 million experience. I think that's actually a decent amount. I don't know exactly how far that is. See if I can bring up a wiki. Let's see if I can bring up, like, Fire Trap. Let's see. Fire Trap PoE. Does it show EXP? Okay, so 8 million is okay. So according to this, now of course things have been adjusted. This is not the beta, this is just a regular one. I do believe it shows, what is this? 15, so it gives up to 8 million. So that's like in between 14 and 15 is where it would lie. Which is not bad at all. That's decent for a gem. It's something, you know, to get it started. Now, of course, that's up to the cap. I don't know how long it takes to get to that cap. And like I said, these are not the beta values. These are just the regular values. We also have dropped the price of gems sold by Forsaken Masters to be the same as the new price offered by other vendors. That's also pretty neat. The NPCs of Highgate have had their voice acting added. Jewels. Now, one thing also that I like about this is it really helps out self-found players. It helps them out immensely by just, you know, because people are like, oh yeah, I'm self-found, but I bought my gear. Oh, I'm self-found, but I bought my gems. Oh, you know, it's always like, but there's always that you know, that stupid scenario where you're playing a shadow, but you need an added fire, and it's just like, well, I have to buy it. Like, in this scenario, you know, this could fix that, which is really awesome. So anyway, the NPCs of Highgate have had their voice acting added. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, now this is another big one. This was talked about on the podcast with Carl. Jewels. We have reworked the mods on rare jewels. Your typical jewel should be much stronger than in the last version. We have reworked which mods appear as prefixes and suffixes. We have changed their values considerably. We also put in the system for excluding various mods from appearing together. For example, a two-handed mod will not appear with the shield mod. A dagger won't appear alongside a claw mod. We have changed rare jewels to be able to drop with 3 or 4 mods instead of just 4. While we have improved rare jewels considerably, fewer unique jewels are available in this version because we've disabled some while fixing them. Now this goes up and down, so kind of like the up and down I'm going to refer to here is essentially before it was like incredibly hard to roll a jewel like with 4 stats that actually work for you. You could get 3 stats that work for you. 4 stats was like you're spending, I don't even know, 60 chaos, 80 chaos, or, you know, hundreds of alts and regals to try to get it, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because when you do get the jewel you want, you're just like, oh my god, this is GG. Now they're saying it's not necessarily like that. You know, it's a lot easier to roll it, which I'm okay with. You know, I'm not really too much against that, because you don't want your rolling a jewel to be as expensive as trying to get a 6 link, you know? You want it to be, like, to me, I feel like jewels, you get your 5 link, then you get your jewel, and then you get your 6 link, or vice versa, you get your jewel, then your 5 link, then you get your 6 link. It's a step before the 6 link, which is what I think, you know, promotes proper gameplay, since getting a 6 link is always, it's like that huge gap. But anyway, because of one thing that they noted here, they said that jewels can drop with 3 now, or 4 mods instead of just 4. So you could potentially get that perfect 3 roll, and then you want to exalt the 4th stat. So that is kind of neat in a way, how it's not locked to 4. So there is still some crafting involved in there. Alright, anyway, other content. The new skill gem Ice Crash is included with this patch, as well as 2 unique gems which have been shown recently. Whoa, let me clarify that. I'm really tired. I haven't went to bed yet. 2 unique items, there we go, which have been shown recently. Now, this is really cool because 1 new skill gem is coming out. I have like 3 things I'll say at the end of the video to confirm before I decide what build I'm gonna play. Anyway, though, there have been some small changes to the passive tree, some in preparation for the upcoming leech changes, and some for traps and totems. There are many more changes to come for the passive tree. So now I've got every trap node memorized on the tree, so I'm really interested to see if they're getting buffed, or if they're getting nerfed, or if they're getting changed. You know, there's a big difference. You've got, for example, you've got trap throwing speed on the right-hand side by high explosives, then you've got Saboteur right by shadow, and then you've got the cluster all the way in bumfuck at the bottom right section near Ondar's Guile, which has like your 9999, and then again I think it's like a 21% with additional traps, etc. And then you have your mine node right above shadow where it is, but there's not much speed. There's not a lot of laying speed. And then you have another cluster near Scion and Ranger / shadow as well. So you're pretty limited. Most things, it's just flat damage. So I want to see if they're going to incorporate some more stuff with it. I don't know if they still have trap trigger radius. They used to have it. I don't remember if it's still there. I could be wrong on that. That's one thing I have to clarify. But anyway, you know, that could be pretty interesting. Next says we have several balance changes yet to be added. For example, we have a few big improvements coming for Leech. We think you'll like them, and they did discuss it before in a previous post. We'll be completing the Mines and Diala quest content by adding the Rapture device to the beta in around 1 week. Act 4 areas and bosses past the Rapture devices are currently scheduled to be added in 3 weeks. So that's good to hear. Several skill gems are still in the pipeline and will be added during beta. Several skill gems. That's really nice. One cool thing as well is all you need is 1 skill gem to design a build. Now, granted, some are going to be utility, some are going to be, you know, active gems, some are going to be support gems. You know, you're going to have multiple types, but still, all it takes is 1 gem or 1 support gem to change a build or to even create a build. As noted above, there will be further changes to the passive tree, which is awesome. And then, are we on track? This is on track for the beta release and whatnot, or the full release. So far, we are still on track for the end of June, or beginning of July. A lot will depend on whether the LockStep changes go as smoothly as we hope. We are currently on track for content being added to the beta. Balance changes are still happening, but very soon we'll be heading towards refinement rather than large changes. Alright, so one thing that I'm confused about, I want to just scroll here to see if any of them have commented. I want to know if there's going to be a wipe or not. I didn't read 100% to see, per se, if there is a wipe coming up. Is there a quote by any of them? Anyone? If anyone has if anyone has like confirmed information, for all the people asking about a wipe, important parts in bold. Here we go. I plan to play the beta over the weekend regardless of whether there's a wipe next week or a lot. There's a lot of cool stuff to test, and I'm personally not bothered by playing through again if there is a wipe. Some players might choose to hold off on making characters on the options if there's a wipe, but there's going to be no decision or announcement until the day. If that uncertainty is a big issue for you, play some flashback leagues in the meantime and wait for the patch to see if a wipe occurs. Okay, so there we go. There's a quote there just to confirm that on patch day, meaning tomorrow, they'll be confirming whether or not there's a wipe. Okay, so that's pretty neat. That's good to hear. So that should pretty much sum it up for I guess for that. If you guys have any questions and whatnot, please go ahead and post them in the chat below. As for my streaming schedule, like what games are going to be going on, I'd like to see PoE here for like a good, I don't know, hopefully I can stream PoE a good 6 hours a day. I have been streaming actually about 10 hours a day, so if I do get a little bored of PoE after 6 hours, maybe I'll go 10 hours. I'll probably play some Warcraft 3, I've been really enjoying myself there. Black Desert, we'll see what happens. But the main MMORPG I'm excited for, that I'm actually gonna, for once, use my streaming and YouTube to try to get me ahead, and, advertise the fact that, I can advertise their game, is Tree of Savior. And I'll have a video really explaining my thoughts as of right now on Black Desert. That's not necessarily about the game, it's more or less about the state of what I'm playing in, because it's not an NA release, it's in Korea. But, that's pretty much about it. So as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to go pass out because it is 8:17 in the morning, and I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.